Hello and welcome to Advanced Music School. My name is Mackenzie. This is lesson 2 in our first online series, helping you to understand and achieve grade 1 on the piano. In this lesson and the following lesson, we will be looking at reading piano music and learning how to interpret different rhythms. First of all, we need to start by looking at what format we need to play music in. Sheet music is written using dots on a stave. A stave is 5 horizontal lines, which we use in order to distinguish one note from another. How you read these dots is determined by what clef we use. Each clef changes the value of the dot depending on where it is sitting. For the first half of this two-part video, we will focus on the treble clef. In order to learn how to read music using the treble clef, we can use two handy words and phrases. The first is face is space. The spelling of face is F-A-C-E. And these are the notes if we put dots in the spaces on the stave for treble clef. The bottom space is F, the second space is A, the third space is C, and the fourth is E. For the lines on the stave we can use every good boy deserves food. The bottom line is E for every, the second line is G for good, the third line is B for boy, the fourth line is D for deserves, and the last line is F for food. Notes on the stave can also go above and below the stave. Under the stave is the letter D, and below that is middle C. You may notice that middle C has a line through it. This is called a ledger line. These act as extra lines of the stave so we can read beyond the 5 lines. If we read each dot as it ascends up the stave, beginning on middle C, you will see the notes are in alphabetical order. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and so on. The notes can also ascend past the stave like so, G, A, B, C. Let's now play along whilst we read the notes, starting on middle C. For the left hand, we use a different clef called the bass clef, which we will come to in lesson 3. As well as reading which notes to play, we also need to be able to read what rhythms. Each piece of music has a pulse at a different tempo or speed. The pulse is a constant rhythm that goes throughout the piece like this. Now we can count the clicks of the pulse, counting from 1 to 4, and then going back to 1. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 bars would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each click is called 1 beat, and we use these to count the rhythm of the notes. Depending on how the note looks tells us how long the note lasts. A 1 beat note looks like this. It has a stick, and we call a 1 beat note a crotchet. A note that has a stick and a tail is a half beat note, and this is called a quaver. A note with 2 tails is a quarter beat note, and is called a semi-quaver. A note with a stick that isn't coloured in is a 2 beat note, and is called a minim. And a note that has no stick and isn't coloured in is called a semi-breve, which lasts 4 beats. Here is a pyramid of note values to show you how long they last against each other. So the shortest note is a semi-quaver, then a quaver, then a crotchet, then a minim, then finally a semi-breve. As well as this, we can add a dot to any of these lengths, and this will add half of the original value of the note on top. So a dotted crotchet becomes 1.5 of 1, which is 1.5 beats. A dotted minim becomes 2.5 of 2, which is 1, equals 3 beats. Here's an example of some of these note lengths being played on a single middle C, playing along with a pulse. In the next lesson, we will be looking at reading the left hand using bass clef and looking at more complex rhythms with the notes that we have already learned. These lessons are not a replacement for a teacher. Always refer to a skilled private piano teacher for personalized lessons. Visit Advanced Music School to learn more about our personal piano lessons. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.